Hi everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel AskPrep. In today's video we are going to discuss about how, when and where. Let's get started. Introduction. History is not only about a particular date or year, it is also about greater time span which can be spread over centuries. History written from a single perspective can never be complete. To have better understanding, one needs to analyze the history from different perspectives. Every record, whether official or unofficial, is important to construct the real story of a particular historic event. History often marks time, but not all events can be precisely dated. Some, like the Battle of Panipat, have specific dates, while others, such as the invention of the wheel or writing, lack an exact time frame. Different viewpoints on Indian history. During British rule, mainly British historians started to write about the Indian history. For them, every important aspect was of English origin. Indians or Indian history was never in their focus. For them, India was primitive society, and they thought it their duty to teach the refined way of life to Indians. It can be said that this was not going to reveal the complete picture. Periodization of Indian history based on religion. Even this periodization was faulty, because Indian history is not only about influences of Hinduism, Islam or Christianity. Religion is only one of the many aspects of our life. Mughals not only brought Islam along with them, but they also brought a distinct cuisine, costume and literature along with them. Similarly, British brought a modern education system and latest technologies of the Industrial Revolution. These imports highly affected almost every sphere of our life. How important are dates? History explores changes over time, uncovering how things were and evolved. Many of our everyday questions are historical, like when people started drinking tea, how they traveled before railways, or how news spread before newspapers. These questions connect us to different periods, even if not precisely dated. Once focused on battles and major events, history now also examines daily life, how people earned, produced, ate, how cities grew, markets emerged, kingdoms formed, and ideas and cultures transformed. Which dates? The dates we select are not important on their own. They become vital because we focus on a particular set of events as important. For example, in the histories written by British historians in India, the rule of each Governor-General was important. All the dates in these history books were linked to these personalities, to their activities, policies, achievements. If we have to focus on the activities of different groups and classes in Indian society, we need another format for our history. This would mean that the old dates will no longer have the significance the earlier had. A new set of dates will become more important for us to know. How do we periodize? In 1817, James Mill, a Scottish economist, published A History of British India, dividing Indian history into Hindu, Muslim, and British periods. Mill viewed Asian societies as less civilized than Europe and believed British rule could civilize India by introducing European culture, institutions, and laws. Mill even argued the British should conquer all of India to promote its progress. However, historians today find problems with Mill's division, as various faiths coexisted in these periods, and rulers didn't uniformly share the same beliefs. Moving beyond British classifications, Indian history is often categorized as ancient, medieval, and modern. Yet, this Western periodization is also flawed. While the modern period in the West signified progress and democratic ideals, British rule in India lacked equality, freedom, and economic growth. Thus, some historians refer to this time as colonial rather than modern. What is colonial? British conquered the country and established their rule, subjugating local Nawabs and Rajas. They established control over the economy and society, collected revenue to meet all their expenses, bought the goods they wanted at low prices, produced crops they needed for export. British rule brought changes in values and tastes, customs and practices. When the subjugation of one country by other leads to these kinds of political, economic, social and cultural changes, we refer to the process as colonization. Source of history: administration produce records. One important source is the official records of the British administration. Every instruction, plan, policy, decision, agreement, investigation was clearly written up. This produced an administrative culture of memos, notings and reports. Steps taken by the British established record rooms in all administrative offices, such as the village tehsildar's office, collectorates, provincial secretariats, and law courts. Specialized institutions like archives and museums were created to preserve key records. Letters and memos circulated among administrative branches in the early 1800s can still be accessed in archives. Early documents were handwritten by calligraphists, but by the mid-1800s, printing allowed multiple copies to be made, recording each department's proceedings. Surveys become important. Surveying became widespread under British rule as they believed thorough knowledge of a region was essential for effective administration. Revenue surveys were conducted in villages to understand topography, soil quality, flora, fauna, local histories, and cropping patterns. From the late 19th century, census operations were held every 10 years, recording detailed information on population, caste, religion, and occupation. Other surveys included botanical, zoological, archaeological, anthropological, and forest surveys. What official records do not tell, official records reveal what the officials thought, were interested in, and wished to preserve for posterity. However, these records don't always help us understand how other people in the country felt or what motivated their actions. For that, we turn to diaries, accounts of pilgrims and travelers, autobiographies of important personalities, and popular booklets sold in local bazaars. As printing spread, newspapers published, and issues were debated publicly. Leaders and reformers wrote to spread their ideas, while poets and novelists wrote to express their feelings. Understanding how history was experienced by the tribes, peasants, mine workers, or the poor on the streets is a more challenging task. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoy learning about how, when and where. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more exciting social science videos. See you next time.